Hey, it's Andrew with CarCam Central. We review dash cameras, and we're back with our budget dual channel recommendations for 2017 so far. These cameras record not only the front, but also from your rear windshield, which allows you to capture faces and details like license plates in hit and run accidents. As always, we researched many cameras and spent close to $1,000 American to test those that were promising. We have three recommendations. Our top value pick for most drivers is the $130 Mini 0906 camera. The video quality, functionality, and performance is a big leap over cameras we found under $200. Our cheap choice is the $60 Pruvio F5, but there's a lot of drawbacks we'll talk about later. Finally, there's the $210 Blackview DR490, which is our pick for parked recording or for drivers in hotter climates. There's a lot to talk about, so let's get into it. Starting first with the basics, all three of our recommendations are dash cams. They'll turn on and start recording automatically when they receive power. They will also record on a loop, which means they will overwrite the oldest files on your card when it runs out of space. As well, all three have a second camera, which attaches using adhesive pads to your rear windshield. It sends video to the front camera through a 20-foot cable with an easy plug-and-play connection. During installation, you will need to hide the cable either in the headliner or under your seats. Each car is different, but I think most people could do everything in under an hour. You might be thinking if this is worth the trouble. While the front camera is most important, we found there are many situations where the rear camera is helpful. One top reason is to give context behind a road rage or a tailgating accident. If the driver behind you is acting dangerously and you later collide, you can show what happened and how their driving influenced your actions. The second is for a hit and run accident. This is most helpful for rear end hits, where the driver does a U-turn and drives away. You can also capture the driver's face so you can sue for injuries and they can't lie and say they were somewhere else. Looking at our first pick, the $130 Mini 0906 is our top recommendation for most drivers. It's a game changer as it delivers the performance and heat resistance that has not been found in cameras under $200. The body is fairly small and stealthy to outside observers, and hopefully less of a tempting target to steal. There's three main reasons why you should spend more to get the Mini 0906 over the cheaper cameras available. First, the 0906 uses capacitors, not lithium-ion batteries. Both store energy to safely shut down your camera when you turn off your vehicle. Capacitors are more reliable and heat resistant, so your camera is less likely to fail and need replacing. Most budget dash cams use batteries, which can swell in hot weather and damage your camera. This happened to the original version of the Anker Rove camera we tested. The second reason you should get the Mini is for the better rear camera. You can stick it to vertical windshields, which are found on some SUVs and hatchbacks, and still get a good angle. On cheaper cameras, many use a generic square camera, which has adjustability issues if mounted directly on some windshields. Most importantly, the video quality is so much better compared to most budget cameras. Both the front and rear record in remarkably clear Full HD 1080p. When compared with our $60 pick, the front looks relatively similar during the day. At night, there is a larger contrast. The clarity and sharpness are significantly better under low light conditions. If we look at the rear camera, that's where the Mini 0906 is shockingly better. You can read license plates both day and night, and the camera becomes dramatically more useful. Most budget cameras have VGA resolution footage, which is grainy and mushy. The Mini camera takes a maximum 128GB card, which gives just over 7.5 hours of recording time at the highest quality. Moving on, let's talk about parked recording. The Mini 0906 has a special setting called Parking Guard, which saves space on your SD card. It works with a special hardwiring kit which connects your camera to your car's battery for continuous power when your engine is off. It has a voltage cutoff circuit to prevent the camera from draining your battery. The Parking Guard activates when it senses your vehicle has turned off. It'll lower the resolution to 720p and the frame rate to 2 frames a second. When it detects motion or a shock, it switches back to recording at 30 frames per second. However, there's a 3-second gap where the camera is not recording and you could miss capturing an accident or license plate. We do not recommend you turn on Parking Guard until this delay is fixed or a better parking mode is implemented. The Mini 0906 comes with a wireless remote, which can activate the emergency lock feature by holding down the button. This feature protects the current file from being overwritten. It's quite helpful after an accident or interesting event. Moving on, like all cameras we recommend, you get everything you need for installation except the microSD card, which you'll need to buy yourself. Certain cards like the Transcend or SanDisk High Endurance are more durable. See our video for more. To install the camera, it's simple. No tools are required. The Mini uses an adhesive tape for the front and rear cameras, which holds strongly under different weather conditions and removes cleanly without residue. The only other issue is the poor error notifications with faulty microSD cards. On our 4 non-working units, the camera would flash a card full error once for 1 to 2 seconds before disappearing. It's very easy to miss that your camera has problems recording. As all cards fail over time, this is a problem. On better cameras like the Vicovation Opia 2, you'll see a constant LCD warning that tells you there's a problem. Hopefully the Mini will be fixed with a firmware update. Overall, we love the Mini 0906. We haven't seen another camera under $200 that gives you 1080p front and back quality with better heat tolerance because of its capacitor build. Looking at our next camera, if you have a lower budget, the $60 Pruvio F5 was the best we could find. It has okay video quality backed up by decent customer service. Still, we do not recommend the F5 unless you really want a front-back camera and you can't afford the Mini 0906. Starting with the camera body, its wedge shape is great for escaping notice. The F5 looks like it was built into your vehicle. Moving to the rear camera, its design means it can't be installed on vertical windshields found on some vehicles. You'll have to find a horizontal surface like a tail light. As well, you'll need to bend the metal bracket to get the right angle. On most vehicles, you should have no problems. The video quality is the biggest downside. While the front camera is acceptable, there's a decent amount of detail during the day and night. However, the rear camera is dismal. You won't be able to make out any faces or license plates. Still, it's enough to show what was happening, such as tailgating or dangerous driving. As well, the F5 also uses lithium-ion batteries, which can cause trouble in hotter climates. Even if Pruvio had a proper parking mode, this would not be a good candidate for recording in hot vehicles. The F5 also has the worst SD card slot I've used. I needed a tool to insert and remove the card as it was buried deep. Fortunately, the camera's reliability has been good so far. There were a few issues with the LCD cover falling off, but not many reports of failed cameras. Overall, we aren't excited about the Pruvio F5, but it is an option for those who can't afford the Mini 0906. We did not find any cameras we would recommend under this price. Moving on, we tested the $120 Rexing V1P. We wanted a camera from a popular brand with excellent customer service. While it has many positive reviews, we do not think it's a good value. The video quality is similar to the $60 Pruvio F5, except it costs nearly the same as the Mini 0906. Like the F5, it uses lithium-ion batteries. They also use a 3M tape that has trouble coming cleanly off windshields compared to the VHB adhesive that is normally used. As we said before, we think Rexing has great customer service. We just think it's not worth double the price over the Pruvio F5. We'll leave the decision to you. Finally, let's look at the $210 Blackview DR490. While it is pushing the definition of a budget camera, it is the cheapest dual 1080p camera from a well-known manufacturer. There are 2 models, but we only recommend the cylindrical, non-LCD variant, the DR490, not the DR490L. The DR490 is not the overall better choice versus the Mini 0906. We only get the DR490 for 3 reasons. 1. If you need parking mode. 2. You live somewhere hotter and want a more heat-resistant camera. 3. If you want a mainstream brand with better customer support and a larger retailer network. Otherwise, the DR490 falls behind in video quality, and we don't think it'll be worth the extra $70 over the Mini 0906. Starting first with parking mode, the DR490 is a better candidate over the Mini, as there's no gaps in coverage. The parking mode activates differently from the Mini 0906. It turns on when your car hasn't moved in 5 minutes, which is detected through an accelerometer. The camera will then stop writing to the SD card, but will keep 10 seconds of video in its memory. When the camera senses motion or an impact, it will copy the saved video and the next 15 seconds in a new video file. This is much more reliable than what the Mini 0906 uses right now. Unlike the Mini, you have more hardwiring kits to choose from. See our parking mode article for details and more information on hardwiring your camera. The second reason to get the Blackview is for its higher temperature limit at 70 degrees Celsius, 158 degrees Fahrenheit, over the 60 degrees Celsius of the mini camera. This helps improve reliability in hot weather. It also has the temperature sensor, which will shut down the camera at 70 degrees Celsius to protect it from overheating, and is a more useful temperature compared to the Mini. The third reason for you to consider the DR490 is Blackview's better retailer network. You have brick and mortar locations like Best Buy and specialty retailers like Black Box My Car who have experience installing cameras on vehicles like BMWs with complicated electronics. Before we talk about some of the DR490's downsides, let's look at the rest of the camera. The DR490 attaches to your windshield using adhesives and is stealthy and not easily noticeable outside your vehicle. Unlike other cameras, you need a laptop or PC to change the settings, as the camera doesn't have an LCD screen or Wi-Fi connectivity. You'll have to take out the SD card and run the Windows or OS X program, which can be downloaded from their website. I found it easy to use. You also need to rely on its voice notifications and LEDs to see if it's recording.
Blackview for your safe driving. Starting normal recording.
I am disappointed that Blackview didn't get error notifications right. The 3 failed ADATA cards caused the camera to format and reboot on a loop.
Formatting SD card.
The Transcend card seems to crash the camera as it wouldn't start up. We suggest you check your SD card often to make sure it's working. Looking at their video quality, the front camera is overall quite similar to the Mini 0906, as they both use a Sony StarViz sensor. The dynamic range, sharpness, and clarity is about the same both day and night. For the rear camera, it's a different story. There's less details and greater motion blur, which means it's harder to pick up license plates on the move. The Mini 0906 uses a Sony Exmor sensor, while Blackview hasn't published their specs. We think it's an inferior sensor. Looking at the recording time, you can use SD cards up to 128 gigabytes, which gives around 13 hours of recording time. Blackview includes a microSD card from 16 to 128 gigabytes, depending on the package you buy. They are reliable, but pricey. We also measured energy efficiency and found it was about the same as the other parking mode cameras we tested. The recording time will depend on the size of your battery. The DR490 comes with a standard 1-year warranty. We don't expect any reliability issues with the camera, as Blackview has a lot of experience making these cameras. Overall, the DR490 is a good pick if you're looking for a dual-channel camera for parking mode and you don't want to spend $400+. Speaking of $400 cameras, we'll be testing quite a few in the future, including the F800 we purchased. We'll talk about how premium models give you all the important features we talked about today, and also add Wi-Fi and live internet streaming. That information will be in an article soon to come, including the details we left out today. For example, the cameras we considered but didn't end up testing or choosing. Updates will be in the description below this video, and for trusted retailers for the cameras we recommended. Subscribe for more and hit that bell button so you'll be notified when we release something new. Thanks for watching.